The reason we're bringing forward this amendment today, the reason that Ranking Member Howard Berman and I have introduced legislation on this issue is because this is an issue that is ongoing in Turkey today. And as discussed, imagine a situation in which you have a country where you had literally millions of people of many faiths, and over the ensuing last few generations, we've reached the point today where the Baha'i and the Christians and the Jews in Turkey are less than 1% of the population. And in tandem with that, the personal experiences that we have had in discussions with people that we have gotten to know today who try to practice religious freedom in Turkey and have come under these constraints that frankly have led to a situation where 2,000 churches are now 200 in Turkey. A situation where no longer, if you're a religious minority, can you really effectively practice your religion, because in order to practice, you've got to be able to study, you've got to have clergy teach your religion, and if you can't overcome the barriers to that, how are you going to keep that religion alive? And if those religious needs are not met, if we don't speak out, if we don't try to, as the United States of America, if we don't speak up for this principle, what do we think is going to happen ultimately to those religious minority groups? They're going to decline. Eventually, if this continues, they're going to disappear. And that is why this resolution urges Turkey to fulfill its obligation. Frankly, an obligation it has. The United States Commission on International Religious Freedom points this out repeatedly. Turkey is identified as a country among the world's top violators of religious freedom, despite it being a signatory of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So, we urge Turkey to fulfill its obligation, allow clergy to train and students to study Christianity and other religions there, return all confiscated church properties that were taken from these, that were stolen, frankly, provide religious minorities with the right to own property, repair the damage that Turkey has caused with these minority groups, and allow people to practice their faith freely. And lastly, and most importantly, provide churches with legal status and rights, because until these churches, until the Baha'i, until the Jews, until the Christians, until the Greek Orthodox have the legal status in Turkey, we're going to see the winding down of a situation where they're now less than 1%. We're going to watch as they fear to even repair. You cannot, on some of these churches, there's a desire to put a cross back up on the church, on some of these Greek Orthodox churches. Why not allow that? If it's a secular society, why not allow the parish to do that? People fear discrimination there. They fear that discrimination while they study, while they practice, while they're trying to teach their religion, and this goes to that issue. And let me close by saying this. The United States has a vested interest in protecting religious freedom, because by threatening the vitality and survival of minority religious communities, that threatens the fundamental freedoms that this country was founded upon. That is why we have an obligation, I think, and the entire international community has an obligation to speak out now before it's too late and these religions are finally gone.